Let me also caution all those that were brothers and sisters who live abroad, the people I call the social media gurus, who never visit home, and who enjoy the drums of war, and who enjoy all the sentiments created in social media, to desist from doing that henceforth. Because I do know they may not understand the consequences of their writings and the consequences of what they are doing from abroad and from that perspective. And let them also pause for a while and think. If finally this music or this drum for war is dance, will that not keep the Igbos in island of isolation of ignorance and poverty? That we do not need. Igbos are major stakeholders in the entity called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We fought for the unity of this country and have acquired unity. We cannot be counted out from the affairs of this nation. But let me again, while I blame the Arewayus, who may have acted under the provocation and who are taking the matter beyond scope, the statements made by them was rather very inciting and can create disaffection between the North and the Southeast. For purpose of those who have forgotten history, especially in the days of Shagari, we have been seen as allies and partners politically, except for this last dispensation, when for some myopic reasons the Igbo leaders did not see the victory of Buhari coming and will miss the link. Therefore, I call for immediate refixing and repair of this broken political bridge between the North and the Southeast, who have enjoyed wonderful political relationship in the time past. If all things being equal, and without the intervention of the military, I'm sure the Igbos would have gotten their heart desire in the politics of Federal Republic of Nigeria. But at this time, I want to call on all leaders of Nigeria to speak out and condemn this act, because keeping silence anymore cannot help this matter. And us, thinking that we can benefit from this crisis, is rather a disappointment. And I pray that leaders ought to take responsibilities now and teach our youth the right thing to do. The people involved in this matter are our children, they are our youths. We gave birth to them, and they have a duty to listen to us as their parents. It is apparent that we have failed as leaders in this nation, and which has given room for this hate in families, hate in communities, hate in states, hate in national level, hate in companies. We need to take responsibility as leaders to stop this campaign of hate and this hatred for one and each other, because that will not do us any good. I was abroad sometimes, and I saw China and Koreans of yesterday, who were underrated by Nigerians, developing the resources of our land. But here in Nigeria, we're still talking about which religious group and which tribe is speaking. It's a shame. My heart bleeds. I was in Dubai. I saw development taking place. I saw young men running to factories, developing the resources of their land, any foreign exchange. And here we're still talking about comments by IPOP, comments by Arewayus. And that's the only thing that can keep this nation busy. It's a proper shame. My heart bleeds. I went just to Tanzania of recent and South Africa. I see tourism flourishing in those lands, while in my own country, we're still talking about Boko Haram and kidnapping. What a shame. My heart bleeds. I've been around the whole world. I see progress everywhere. I see development everywhere. And African nations are waiting for Nigeria to rise and take its rightful place as leaders of Africa. All we can give to African nation is to talk about which section will produce the presidency of Federal Republic of Nigeria and which zone shall produce the governor of a state. My heart bleeds. What a shame. It is this shameful for this generation. And may we never be found as a failed generation, God forbid. And we must never transfer this failure to the subsequent generation. We must rise up to our responsibilities and face the crucial moment and ugly situation which our condition has pointed out to us. We must make a rethink as leaders. We must change our ways, because it's obvious that the inherent hatred, division, which we got from the colonial masters, transferred to subsequent generation, has not helped us. We must sing a new song of unity in this nation and see ourselves as brothers and sisters of one nation. I call on my Igbo brothers, the agitators, because there was nothing wrong even doing what others are doing, but your style is what is wrong. You cannot be calling for a sovereign nation within a nation. That is absolutely wrong. If you must seek for a name to call yourself as agitators, and if you must agitate, I suggest and propose that you agitate for MOESIP, that is M-O-E-S-I-P, Movement for Economic Survival of India. That will make sense to develop the resources of our land and making agriculture the mainstay of our economy. Only when this happens can we command the respect from the rest of the world. The nation will not clap us, applaud for us for drumming the songs of war. That is an old fashion. If that has been done in the past, it does not befit the new generation. We must change our ways and change our style. I feel very, very sad. I feel very, very bad that this nation that we have all toiled for, some miscreants would want to take undue advantage for some political reasons and mess up the system. And for those of you who support these youths, must desist because we're not telling them the best. We care for them because as I stand now as a sitting governor, what IPOB would have wanted is for Rochas Okorocha to speak with voice and say, let's go to war. But if I do that, it means I hate you. I do not care. But because I care for you, I tell you what is the best for you as a people. We must change our style. We must change our bait. And for the Igbo nation, I don't want to sound like a Pontius Pilate, and I don't want to be found making a judgment. But there's need for us to rethink on how we can move our economy forward, or not how we can create enemies for ourselves. I understand that we are being misunderstood. Why are you misunderstood as Igbos? The problem is that you deal even better with non-Igbos than you deal with your brothers. I wish the Northerners will understand that an Igbo man is the worst enemy of a fellow Igbo man, but a better friend of the North. That people do not know about us. We don't even unite. Our problem is unity. But let's not extend this hatred within ourselves, outside, to be hated by others. We must stop, and that's the right way to go. And I want to appeal to all Igbos at this moment that my heart is bleeding, that will make a rethink, and do not join others in singing the song of division of this country. We need Nigeria more than Nigeria needs us now. And this is not time for Igbos to sing an alternative song of war. I want to appeal that the use of our nation, I understand your frustration, and believe me, I do as a person. If no one sees your frustration, I see that what will be bequeathed to you as leaders is a generation of hate, poverty, and lack. But if you must fight, and if you must blame, please blame not yourself. Because I wish the use of Igbos will visit some part of the North. You'll come back crying. Rather than fighting them, you sympathize with them. Their situation are not even better. Their situation is not even better than your situation. You rather sympathize with them. I've seen poverty in its practical form. I've seen people not going to school. I've seen the challenge of the moment. Rather than fight them, you should sympathize with them. If there's anybody to blame, blame your leaders. Blame us, your leaders. One, we must take responsibility for this your frustration, which has not gone well for either you and our generation. I can see that this hate, we must fight against it as a nation, as a people. We must teach our children the best thing to do and the best way to go. We must unite as a people and begin to sing the song of unity. Of recent, I hear people talking about where the presidency will come from and where the governors will come from. Like I said before, excuse me, visit the states that have produced presidency of this country and the villages. They are more in poverty than even where have not produced presidents. Visit the zones and villages that have produced governors. They are more in poverty than even the zones that have not produced governor before, or villages that have not produced. So who is deceiving who? I want the youth to unite. I want them to unite for the development of our nation, and not to unite to fight each other. I call for both unity of northern youth and the southeast youth. And very soon, I'll take that lead and bring them together. Because I happen to see myself as the bridge, having been born an Igbo man, having been brought up by the North, and having been financially empowered by the West. I have Nigeria as my constituency, and Nigeria remains my constituency. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.